Hi friends! Welcome to another Clean with Us.
Does this clean look familiar? Do you guys remember seeing us here before?
We are back at the Miller's house. This is their homeschool area. This mom has 7 kids and works hard to homeschool them.
I know we never show the family or show the kids or anything like that, but if you guys met them, you would see how truly smart they are, how kind, how empathetic. They are just awesome.
If you are a homeschooling family or were a homeschooling family, put it in the comments below and tell us what was your favorite thing about it.
Speaking of favorites, why don't we take a moment to introduce ourselves?
I'm Lana.
I'm Laura.
And we're 2 identical twins who love to clean and tidy.
And thank you for your patience as we are releasing videos as quickly as we possibly can.
It's hard to believe, but we are on year 3 of this Tidy 2 journey, and we have worked with tons of families and trying to, support this very difficult work. If you are someone who holds on to clutter, we know that this is so difficult, and I think that this home is a great example of how clutter can really weigh you down.
I think one thing, and we've talked about it in so many videos, is the idea of zones and boundaries. And this family, like I said, they're wonderful, they're awesome, but they are not great about upholding their own areas, zones, and boundaries.
I'd agree. I think that it's a set of rules that come with time, and it's easier to establish rules when you have less chaos going on. So in my house, I feel like I'm able to uphold these boundaries and these rules, and I can say, nope, we're 1 in, 1 out, or the arbitrary number rule, or the top to bottom, left to right rule. I have all these rules that I implement all the time. But I also don't have this big of a family and this big of a mess.
The things we're picking up off this floor are, yes, homeschool work, paperwork. There's religious stuff. This is a really awesome religious family, but there's also clothes and there's toys and there's like a fork underneath the couch, which no judgment. I don't even want to go over the things that I just found underneath my couch now that I have a baby. But yeah, it's a lot for anyone. And I think someone who works as hard as these guys, it gets overwhelming.
For those of you at home that, you're seeing this mess and you're saying #relatable, one thing that I would highly encourage you to do, and I'm trying to encourage this family to do that, is you just need less. And I know we say this over and over, but if I were to tell you I had the magic wand and I knew the solution, I'm telling you I have the magic wand. You have to have less stuff in your house because you are the manager of your home and you are the one who's in charge of taking care of it. And your whole family is, of course, but if you're the one who cares about this clutter, then you need to be the one that says, you know what, we don't need 800 crayons or pencils or books or whatever it is.
And I would say if you're the one watching this video, you are likely the manager of your home.
So I'm a teacher, but I do not homeschool. So, I'm not sure if I'm misstepping here, but school supplies is one that I've organized multiple times in my own room. And I have 120 students. And yes, I only have 25 at a time, but every single one of your students does not need to have all of the materials. I think that you can have, quote, a classroom set and have plenty of materials. You don't need 800 highlighters. I keep using 800 for some reason, but I really want to stress that less is best. You will find the joy and simplicity in your life when you get the ability, motivation, encouragement, or courage, whatever it might be in this moment for you, to get rid of stuff in your home.
I don't know why, but a lot of the families that we help are actually homeschool families. I think that there's this little community and they've reached out to us and maybe they're in their house a lot. And so they can,
I think that's definitely it. Yeah.
Yeah. They recognize that, there is a lot of mess. And so what I've also noticed is there's a lot of systems. I'm not saying that they all work, but sometimes there's systems on top of systems on top of systems. I know that's crazy, but it's like, oh, the kids have their little station over here for their math materials. And then this station over here is for the writing, when really everything just gets thrown onto a table. So again, I am definitely not a homeschool parent, so I don't know the best idea, but I feel like having one place where your kids' stuff is, or maybe there's just too much materials. I don't know.
But whether this is a homeschool thing or not, the a principle still applies. I was just working with a new client, which Laura and I cannot wait to introduce you to. That's going to be in a couple of videos from now. But she had a plate that she really liked that went with a collection of plates. And she had all the plates put in, but this one didn't fit. And so we just go back to constantly referring to the container method, which we got from Dana K. White, Decluttering at the Speed of Life. But basically, you go to the cabinet, you go to put the plate away, there's no room. You have to say, okay, well, the cabinet is the limit for this space. If the plate doesn't fit, then it's not going to work.
And sorry if you hear any background noises here. It is not a low, angry bear. It is a baby pushing a chair on the floor above us. So that's my baby, by the way.
Think old school Sesame Street when they had the letter and the number of the day. Today's word of the day is limits.
Limits on the space you have, limits on the stuff you have, and limits on the stress you have.
For the Miller family, this journey is taking a long time, and they are making steps to declutter. Every time we go over there, we take a few totes of things to get rid of, but it is going to be a process, and we can't rush anyone. And one thing I'm learning as a decluttering person is my vision and my speed. To impose that on someone else is unfair to them. They deserve to move at the pace that they need. Laura and I serve as hands to help them in what they want to do.
And we're also a soundboard. Usually the client, the person is talking to us and they're saying, well, maybe I could use this, or, this was a gift for me. And we have scripts that we use or we will even give our clients this script. Now, this was also from Dana K. White. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, same thing. Basically how, different tips on how to say no when people are trying to give you clutter, how to have that internal dialogue with yourself.
Can we hear some of this dialogue?
Yep, let's just go through what I probably did ask her. So I'm going through this curriculum bin that says math, and I notice that there is a book in there, and the book is about animals. When I show the client the book about animals, because we never get rid of things without people's permission, the first thing that comes to her mind, so her internal dialogue, or at least what she shares with us, was, I know where that goes. I'll take it there. Now, before I get too far, do know that Dana K. White does talk about taking things immediately to the places they need to go. But in this case, I want to help the client reframe their mindset. And so instead of saying, oh, I know where this book goes, I want her to ask a very hard question. Can she live without this book? Now, I know that seems really drastic because, of course, we all know in a very rational sense that we can live without all of these items. We know that people are resilient and strong, but in these moments, we are faced with a very difficult choice to have a life with or a life without that book. And I truly believe that the real fear isn't life without the item. It's the moment of having to decide that limitation of that item. So saying goodbye to something, that anxiety that comes with it, I think really hinders moving forward.
And on the softer side, I think that, instead of asking, can I live without it, which is a very good question, that is great dialogue. Sometimes for me, I'll just be like, okay, has this item served its purpose? Maybe she could say, have all my kids gone through this, curriculum? We already learned animals and we know what sounds they make. Or is there someone else who maybe could benefit from it?
Sometimes the people that are watching our videos aren't necessarily the people who have this much clutter, but are loved ones of people who have this much clutter. And you are probably familiar with trying to have a conversation with someone who is not ready to either accept the circumstances they're in or to acknowledge how bad it is. But when we think about the safety of people in their homes, it is important to remember that, we can only do so much, and trying to make sure that outlets are being able to be seen, that nothing is blocking dangerous areas like the basement, like with water heater and things, that might be the minimum that we can do for some of our families.
For this family and pretty much every family that we work with, because again, we're taking on big jobs, usually it's walkways and pathways and not blocking doors.
We apologize if this episode sounds kind of dark. It's not dark, and we actually have a lot of hope for this family, but it's not going to be instant. And I think that's something that we all need to recognize, is that the family needs time to go through this.
So a takeaway for this video, you can see the before shot, and it is stressful also because my finger is in the image. I'm so sorry about that. But these manageable goals for this family is to downsize and to organize their school supplies.
Next week, we have another video for you of this family. We're going to be focusing on the kitchen and doing a really nice clean of that. I think you guys will enjoy that. And then finally, in a couple weeks, we're going to be introducing you guys to our new family, the Waltons.
What projects are you working on at home? Are you decluttering? Are you organizing? Are you deep cleaning? Leave a comment. Thanks for watching.
Here's a sneak peek into next week's clean of the Miller's home. We're tackling that kitchen, and we've got a lot to do.
I know I've done this room before, but now I have Lana with me to help, so it's going to be double the power.
If you haven't done so, hit that like button because, you liked it. Hopefully you did if you're still watching. And subscribe to our channel. We are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers, and it would mean a lot. Also, share this video with someone you think could benefit from the dialogue and the conversations that we had today.
Also, make sure to check out our TikTok. We're at the Tidy2 on TikTok. We are doing all sorts of cleans, time lapses, and having lots of laughs.
Can't get enough of these two cute faces. Check out our YouTube playlist. We've got tons of cleaning videos on here. Check out our storage room, our hoarder series, decluttering motivation, pantries. It's here for you.
We are so grateful to each of you for watching. We really just have one question.
We want to know, what should we clean next?